Hey guys, it's Kim here with Fairily Fiber Fun. Welcome to episode 53. In today's episode, we will be talking about the things that I accomplished in the way of fiber arts in July. So I have some knitting, some spinning, some news concerning classes and these sorts of things, as well as a pattern that is going out to testers today. Before we get into all of that, I'd like to give a very warm welcome to new viewers and a welcome back to returning viewers. If you haven't already, please do hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you don't miss new videos as they come out. And as always, leave your comments, questions, and suggestions in the comment section below. Okay, so let's start with knitting, and in the middle of that, we will talk about the pattern test that is going out starting August 1st, which is the day this video is also going out. So today, if you're watching this on August 1st. First of all, I finally finished my third pair of pajama short pattern testing, design test, whatever you want to call it. I'm designing a pattern for shorts. I thought I knew exactly what I wanted. It's not what I wanted, so now I have to start over and redo it. I cast these on July 5th and bound off on July 22nd. So these are the third pair of shorts. They are the first pair that is 100% cotton. And the reason I'm not happy with them is because they have too much negative ease, and that's just not comfortable for sleeping. So it took me 3 tries to figure that out. So I want to frog these and reknit them. Rework my pattern, the maths in my pattern for positive ease, and make everything just a whole lot looser. But that is a project for another day. I'm happy I got these done. And I'm really glad I made them because now I know what I want to do different. And I sort of have a starting point for redesigning the pattern. So not a fail, but I am going to rip it out and reknit it just because they're too small in essence. Other than that, they fit pretty well. So I'm happy with the basics for this pattern. And then on July 19th, I cast on a new project. Even though we were in the middle of Tour de Fleece, I decided I wanted to make hoodies for my children this year. So this one is going to be for the 15-year-old, and it looks like it would fit me because, you know, they're pretty good sized teenage boys. I have a stitch marker holding the front together. There is a slit down the front, so it has a little bit of a V-neck shaping plus a slit in the front, and that will be finished after I make the hood and get all of that, all the edging done. I have divided, well, I have connected in the round and knit just a teeny tiny bit, and now I'm starting on my big stripe around the body. So that's with commercial yarn I bought. I was going to turn this yarn into a dress, and I bought 3 different colors of Jaeger spun, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, yarn, and this is one of the colors. So I thought the red and the brown just go so well together, and so that's the first one I'm making. I still need to spin yarn for the other one that I'm going to use, the dark blue Jaeger spun. I'm going to call it Jaeger spun. I really like the way that sounds. But for the 17-year-old, I'm going to make a different hoodie, and I have to spin the yarn for it because I don't have enough of one color of yarn. I have the fiber already prepped. I just need to spin it. So that's for another day. But I'm really pleased with how far this is coming, how quickly this is coming along. I did cast this on the 19th, and obviously I haven't finished it yet because it's still on the needles. And when I was thinking through the design features, I totally forgot about a pocket, but I think that'll be really easy to do. So I'm not going to worry too much about that right now. My third knitting project is in the project bag, which is the pattern test. So we will talk about that here in just a second. I have a bunch of needles in this project because my tried-on tubing wouldn't stay on the needle long enough to, it wouldn't stay on the needle for even half a second. I couldn't get it on the needle, so I just used spare needles as holders. So I have finally, last time we talked, I had been one lace repeat left before dividing for the sleeves and the body. And now, not only have I done that, but I have knit a good bit on the body. I'm almost ready to start the waist shaping. In fact, I might be ready, but I ran out of yarn for the skein I was working on. Used it up. So I am going to finish the sleeves and get these extra needles out of here. They're driving me bonkers. So I'm going to finish the sleeves before I move on to finish the body. And once I sit down and do that, I don't think this is going to take very long. So I'm really excited about this little summer top that I'm designing. Not too happy with the shape of the neck, but I mean, it's cute. I just would do it a little different next time. So that is project number 3 that actually has been on the needles the longest because I cast that on, let's see if I can find that, June 20th is when I cast that on. So it's been on the needles for a long time. I just haven't done a huge amount of work with it here lately. But I'm trying to get it finished as quickly as possible because I need to get some stuff off my needles and wrap up some projects. Anyway, that leads us into the pattern test. So a few months ago, I designed a project bag, and it's got double layer base that is sort of round, and you knit it from the bottom to the edge, from the center out, and then you turn and you knit back into the center. So it's knit fabric on both sides. And then you hold the bag at a weird angle to you, and you pick up and knit all the way around through both layers, leaving a nice little ridge around the edge. And then you just knit until it's the correct height. And I used 3 strands of hand spun yarn held together. And whenever I ran out of one, I would just attach a different one and keep going. So it's a great way to use up scraps, but you don't have to use scraps. But it is a fantastic way to do that. And then I wrote the pattern for I-cord drawstrings, but I don't like knitting I-cords, so I put ribbon in mine, and I just happened to have white ribbon laying around, so that's what I used. Should have used like blue or brown or pink or something different, but it's fine. So the pattern actually has both options and instructions to weave them in, so that you have 2 different ribbons, but they kind of overlap each other so that it looks like solid ribbon around the edge. Anyway, it makes sense in the pattern, hopefully. Like I said, testers are just getting started on this, so it's not too late to join in. The test runs through the end of August, and then I will get it published within the first week of September. And I'm really excited. I did put some little loops in the end of my ribbons so that I can carry it on my wrist if I want to. And because I cut these ribbons to be just the size I needed to open the bag all the way, when I tied the extra knot for the handles, it made it too small, the ribbons too short. So now my bag doesn't open all the way, but I can get stuff in and out just fine. It's great. I'm excited. If you want to join in, shoot me an email. My email is in the video description. I try to check that email once or twice a day, but sometimes I forget. So if I don't respond right away, just give me a minute or let me know in the comments that you sent me an email and I'll go check it. So if you are interested in testing this, just let me know and I will send you the pattern. I also have a group chat in the Fairily Fiber Fun Facebook group for pattern testing, because this is not the last pattern I'm going to design, and I think it would be fun to have a place where we can meet and chatter and ask questions and stuff and get that instant response. Although I am considering giving my phone number out to the testers. I don't know. I guess if I feel like they need the one-on-one, then we can do like a video call or a phone call or something like that. Anyway, I'm not opposed to giving them my business number. So that's it on the knitting and pattern testing. I did complete a couple of custom orders in the month of July. One of them was hand spun, and that one was done during Tour de Fleece. One of them was, well, two of them actually got shipped together, and I never got pictures of the row legs all together. I didn't get any pictures of the row legs. So I had a custom order to dye up some of my Alice in Wonderland colorways on merino and turn them into row legs. And so I did that, most of that work during Tour de Fleece. I had it dyed beforehand. And then before I could get that shipped off, the lady's daughter asked me for some more of one of her Advent colors. And I have an extra one because my recipe requires me to dye 3 braids of fiber at a time. Each braid is 4 ounces. So I have an extra one here. This is Starfall from A Court of Thorns and Roses series. And I think it turned out absolutely stunning. It's very similar to the original, but of course, every time I dye this, it's going to be ever so slightly different. So this is restocked in the store, even though I don't have a label for it. And it is on Targhee, which is what all of them were dyed on originally. I do love doing custom orders. They are my passion. So if you see colorways in my store and you want them on a specific fiber, you can always reach out and ask me if I have access to that fiber base and would I be willing to make a custom order for you. The rest of the month was spent spinning. Like, I did a ton of spinning for Tour de Fleece. And in the last week of the tour, I got news from Appalachia Gap Art Studio that my handspun yarns had sold out. And people were asking for more. So that lit a fire under me, and I actually woke up so excited to get out of bed and go to work, which just means sit down at my wheel and spin. I've never experienced that before, or maybe like once or twice in my entire life. So that was new and amazing. And I am so motivated to get stuff done. Like, it's unbelievable. So I'm not going to talk about what I did during the tour, but what I've done since then, I will show you briefly, because I'm in the middle of filming a How Much Yarn Can I Spin in a Week challenge that started the day after Tour de Fleece ended. Why? I mean, why? Normally I take the week after Tour de Fleece completely off and I don't spin anything, but I can't stop, and I'm so excited to get more yarns into the local shop. So my goal is to take 10 skeins of yarn to that store on Saturday, which for you guys is tomorrow. I am filming this on Thursday, so I have the rest of today and all day tomorrow to get this stuff done and washed. I'll show it to you right quick. So I have one included in this bundle that was not spun this week, but I'm showing it to you anyway because it's interesting. And this is its own separate video. But this is my Fire Element colorway, and this one is gradient, and this one is striping. And isn't that interesting how different they are? I just find that to be fascinating. So for this one, this is one that I just plied it and took it off the wheel this morning. So this one is, I split the braid. The braid is a gradient. I split it lengthwise into 4 long strips. And then I spun each one from the yellow end to the black end, or from the black end to the yellow end. I think it's black to yellow. It didn't matter. It's just how the braid happened to be. I did that 4 times, and they're not the exact same size, so the stripes vary a little bit in length. And then I chain plied it, which is exactly what I did for this one, but I didn't split it. I just spun it end to end. So one color repeat. It goes from one end, it's yellow, the other end is black, and it goes all the colors in between. So I'm really excited about these, and I can't decide which one I like better. But that's it on the Fire Element colorway, and these are both going in that shop. So that's exciting. And then I have a few small skeins that these 2 I had finished up earlier this week, and these 2 I plied up this morning. So there's 4 new skeins, plus this one is 5. This one goes with the other ones that I already spun during Tour de Fleece, which is 4. So I'm only 1 away from my goal of 10. Can I spin 10 yarns in 1 week? No, I can't. But can I spin 6 in 1 week? It's looking like I can. Maybe a little bit more than that. We will see. But anyway, that's for a different video. So I have another spin on the wheel right now, and I'm hoping to get it finished today, maybe even get it plied today so I can get it washed tomorrow, but I might ply it tomorrow. We'll see. So this is a braid of Corriedale, and I dyed this forever ago. I have several braids of this, and it is looking like this on the bobbin. It's actually, when I was spinning it in poor lighting, I wasn't happy with it. But now that I'm looking at it, I think it is absolutely gorgeous. So that's the next spin to be finished. And then you see all of those bins up there. Cubes here and here. They have fibers in them that I need to spin. This bag has some melon orange, some green, and some black in it, and that's my next bag I'm going to spin next week. And then there's more of the light pink, more of the green, there's a butter color, more of the melon, an orange, there's a braid of Gulf Coast fiber. It's actually partially used. There's only 3 ounces of that roving, and then some yellow. Yeah. So that is what I will be spinning next. Hopefully I can get the majority of that old stash spun up and out of my stash and into the store where other people can buy it and use it. And then we have classes coming up, which during the summer, none of the classes that Appalachia Gap offers were attended, like none of them. So it was just hard for people to go to classes in the summer. Parents are busy with their kids. The kids are out of school. It's just, there's so much going on. So we're expecting things to pick up now that school is starting back. Tomorrow, for you today, Friday, August 1st, is the first day of school for my children. And not all the counties start at the same time, but in my county, we start on the 1st, which really bites because we don't have much of a summer. We have barely 2 months of summer. And I really wish we had more. But it is what it is. It's not that serious, you know. I worked really hard all summer, and so we didn't get to have the fun that I usually try to have with the kids. That's kind of life. Tour de Fleece is very, very busy, and then I've had so many custom orders that I wasn't expecting that I just worked constantly. And now I am spinning yarn like crazy because there is demand for the yarn. So, but I also have projects for myself, my kids, that I need to spin for. So juggling all of that is not easy. And then I just received an invitation to put some of my products in another local store that's actually a walking distance of where I live. So it makes sense to, oh my gosh, the people are out there cutting grass right now. And I have a doorbell camera, and it keeps popping up notifications on my phone that there's motion by the front door because they keep going by with the lawnmower, and it's driving me bonkers. It keeps distracting me every time that notification pops up on the screen. Anyway, I hope that we covered everything I wanted to cover because my brain is a little bit all over the place with that constantly happening. You might be able to hear them in the background as well. Anyways, I'm hoping that the classes at Appalachia Gap, which is over by the Artful Barns new location, and actually that's really pretty. They've there's a rock wall. It's off from the road, but there's a rock wall, and they've painted the whole thing, and it says, "Welcome to the Artful Barn community." And it's very visible, and it's very pretty, and it's very obvious. It's very attention grabbing, and it's really neat because it is an entire art community. And Appalachia Gap Studio is the only fiber arts studio joined with Artful Barn. They've been paint, drawing, stuff like that type of arts, and pottery for a long, long time, but now they have photography, and they have Appalachia Gap, and they're gonna have, I think they said a stained glass studio or something. I don't remember now, but they have a new studio coming to the same location, and they tore down an old barn and they're going to build something new there. So I'm excited about how that little community is growing, and I'm excited to be a part of it. And there's just so much going on. I will keep you guys informed as the plans that are being discussed and ideas being tossed around, as they solidify into something that I can actually give you. I will do that. So stay tuned. I should have more news coming up in September about all of the holiday classes that will be offered and all that stuff. Right now we have paper arts where you make cards and little boxes and stuff out of paper. I'm part owner or something. An Appalachia Gap Studio of weaving and felting, needle felting, wet felting, spinning, knitting, crochet. I think we're gonna have macrame at some point. I don't know, it's pretty much, if you want to learn a specific fiber art, you ask, we figure out who can teach it, and we schedule a class. It is that easy. So my first class for August is Saturday, and so far nobody has signed up for it, which is fine. We have, the owner is Jean, and she and I are going to sit down and we're going to talk about stuff, and I got all this yarn to take to her. So it's going to be a fun afternoon for us to kind of hang out and bounce ideas off each other and see what we come up with in the way of holiday classes, holiday themed classes. So I'm excited, and I've babbled on and on long enough about this. I don't know anything about the more local to me, because that's a good 25-minute drive from me. Well, this new invitation is for something that's a few blocks from me. And so it makes sense to do something local if I can. But until I have talked to the person who extended the invitation to me in more detail and get something sort of solidified, I can't share anything with you because I don't have any news to share with you. Only, oh, this thing might be happening, which is exciting, but I can't give you more than that because I don't have more than that. So I asked her to give me, the lady who extended the invitation, I asked her to give me a couple of weeks, get the kids, get adjusted to the kids being back in school and see how things are going with the upcoming classes and stuff at Appalachia Gap. And then we'll sit down and we'll discuss contract and details and everything. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I've been trying for a year to get into this local store here in town. And it's been, oh yeah, we want to talk to you about it for a year, over and over again. Oh yes, we're interested, but that's it. So finally, I got something a little more solid. So it's looking like I'm going to be one busy beaver for the rest of my life. And that's pretty darn cool. Okay. Now, news for the future, because I do have news for the future, because I want you guys to be prepared for some of the stuff that is coming up that I know is coming up. I've already set it up, and one of those things is fiber advent calendars are going to open for pre-orders September 1st. I am taking orders, custom orders for Advents before that, but they won't officially open, and they are opening to ship worldwide. I don't know if I'm going to handle that okay or not, but I mean, it can't be that difficult. It's just been years since I did international shipping. So anywho, we are, I have one hand spun Advent for anybody that wants a yarn Advent, and they are 1 ounce a piece, 12 colorways. They are gorgeous. Those fibers are in the store already as individual colorways, 4 ounce braids. But I am also offering it as an Advent. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out. And if it doesn't do, it doesn't do. I will spin the yarns and put them in a shop. No big deal. So 12-day Advents that are already done and ready to ship, I can go ahead and get those shipped out. I do ask, if you are not inside the continental US, that you please give me 2 months to get your order processed and shipped to you. I have Alice in Wonderland, a 12-day Advent. I have the ACOTAR theme, Court of Thorns and Roses, and one of those is hand spun Advent. The rest are just 12-day fiber Advents. And then we have coming up Harry Potter World themed 25 days, 24-day, but the 25th day is free. It's an extra bonus. So we have a 24-day Advent calendar it's based off of taking inspiration from Harry Potter movies and books, from the Magical Beasts movies, and from the game Hogwarts Legacies. So I've kind of compiled a list of colors for those overarching themes, and I'm really excited about it. It was originally a custom order, so that inspired me, and I want to make those for everybody. They are not ready to ship. I don't even have the fiber at this point, but that's why I'm opening them up for pre-order. So starting September 1st, you will be able to order those, but if you're really interested and you want a specific fiber base, please don't hesitate to reach out and request a special Advent calendar for you. I will go into more detail on the Advent calendars in episode 54. But I wanted to mention them now so that you can be prepared to kind of think about the holidays and what you want to do, because now we're kind of done with summer and kids are going back to school and it's time to start thinking about the holidays, at least for me. This hoodie is probably supposed to be a Christmas gift. Now I might change my mind, just give it to my son early, but it's a Christmas gift. So hoodies for my boys for Christmas. I'm already thinking holidays and fall themed stuff, spooky season stuff. Like, I'm starting to transition into that already. So yeah, life is really exciting. I really can't believe how I can't find words right now. I am overwhelmed in a good way with how life and business and my art and passion has started to snowball. I have worked hard for 5 years to build this fiber art business. I've worked for 8 years to build my YouTube channel. I've tried and tried and tried to figure out what my business was supposed to be for like 10, 12 years. And it's taken the past 5 years to really solidify what Fairily Fiber Fun is and what direction I want to go with it. And it's been a daily struggle of, do I keep pushing or do I give up and go get a job somewhere else? And my man and my kids won't let me give up on my dream. So I just keep pushing harder and harder, and I keep trying to make things work, and I keep trying new ideas, and nothing works, and I feel like a failure every day. And I have spent a lot of hours crying and discouraged because it feels like nothing is ever going to happen with my business. And there's been a lot of days where I wanted to give up. But now, for the past 2 years actually, there's been a lot of custom orders just out of the blue. People reaching out wanting something custom. And that really helped a lot to keep me going. And then a year ago, I was invited to be an artisan at the Appalachia Gap studio, and I couldn't do it then. So the invitation was re-extended this year, and I jumped on it, and now my handspun yarns are flying off the shelves. I've tried selling yarn for years. Wouldn't sell at all. But now it's selling. So the right time and the right place makes a big difference. And then I get this other invitation to have some of my product in another store and maybe teach classes here in my town. And I don't know what to think, what to feel. It's exciting. I've worked so hard for so long for so much disappointment. I think I'm just flabbergasted that the disappointing part is over, you know? It feels surreal. That's the word. It feels surreal to finally have some momentum going with my business and the prospect of more to come. Like, when I said snowballing, I mean it's snowballing, and I'm scared I won't be able to keep up with demand. But that's a good problem to have, right? It's not a big fear. It's more of a, oh my God, how am I going to keep up with everything? So it's a struggle right now to stay balanced with family life, with my physical health, and with everything I want to do for my business. So 2025 is turning out pretty darn awesome, and we're only halfway through, just slightly over halfway through. And things didn't start popping off until I quit doing a monthly live sale that was failing every single month. It was so frustrating. It took all of my energy. And when I quit doing that, that's when things started popping off. So sometimes it takes a leap of faith, you know, to get somewhere. It takes a leap of faith. It takes a lot of hard work, and it takes risk. And that's terrifying, especially when you've reached the point of this either succeeds or I get a job, or I give up, you know? I give up and get a job. And I don't want to do that. I want to do this. I want to be here for you. And I want to teach others, and I want to inspire others, and I want to do more of this. So that was a lot of talking. That was a lot of dreams, my heart being poured out. Thank you for listening and celebrating the successes with me and sharing my excitement. I have some exciting new videos coming up in the month of August, and I'm in a bit of a limbo. I don't know. I don't have everything planned out and scheduled out, so I don't really know what the month is going to bring, but take it one day at a time and see what happens. I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye, guys.